Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Keith McLawhorn. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can you tell us about your business, The Dungeon?
Yeah. Basically, it's a program that I started when I came back from Detroit, Michigan, in 2012. I was one of the head trainers out there at a pro facility. So I came back home, and 2012 came back home. I saw an old building that was sitting on the side of the road, and I was wondering what it was. So, to make a long story short, I asked the guy that owned the church, what was that building? He said it was an old gym they built back in it was 1973. And I went inside the building. I went inside it was like a storage place. So I'm like, wow, it was a lot of work, a lot of trash. It was junky. So I just basically cleaned it up, made it to one of the best facilities in the country.
How did you know you wanted to start a business like The Dungeon?
Well, the vision happens in 2001. 2001, of course, I was in college and I was going overseas and I didn't make it overseas. So, of course, 9/11 happened in 2001. And I decided to come back home and do training. And my first person I trained was my brother. And he was, of course, a little younger than me. But the vision happened back in 2001. I had this, vision where I can come back, put a facility that teach the fundamentals of basketball. Kids can learn from it and grow from it.
So who inspired you to start The Dungeon?
The community, the kids. I know that when I was playing ball here, I wasn't getting a lot of fundamentals as far as the game. And when I went to college, I was so far behind. So I felt like, I'm not going to allow these kids to have what I didn't have, because these kids today, they need to be taught the fundamentals. I played off just natural abilities. And sometimes natural abilities just don't, cut it in college. So it was my duty to come back in my community to start something like The Dungeon that teach the fundamentals.
Please tell me please tell me how somebody could find you and like what qualifications they would need.
Find me to my forest for service or?
Yes, as far as service.
Well, you can go online. I have a website, outworkperformance.com. I have a lot of information on my website. Also, social media, always a good way to find me. Roy_Keith _2029. Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Keith McLawhorn. You can find me anyway. I mean, I'm all over social media. My number's all on the internet. So, but yeah, definitely you can find me on those four sources.
What's the youngest that somebody could be qualified for The Dungeon?
To train?
Yes, to train.
The youngest I got is 3 years old. I start very young. I'm probably one of the few trainers that start that young. I know a lot of trainers start about 8 or 9. I started at 3. I I do have the small goals. I can lower the goals down, and I can teach different ball handling drills to the young kids and shooting for them. But the youngest I start is 3 years old.
How many players do you help get recruited to a big school?
I had a lot of players. That's what I do. I know these names probably sound familiar to you guys. Deron Sharp, he came through my program. He's going to, of course, the University of Chapel Hill. Samaj Till had in my program. Caleb Jones that played for NC State that came to my program. NBA players like Reggie Bullock from the New York Knicks came to the program. So I had a lot of kids that came through the program and went to big time university schools.
That's very inspiring. Thank you for your interview talking about The Dungeon. Please follow Brandon Sports Talk on social media at Brandon's Sports Talk on Facebook, Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram, Brandon Sports Talk on YouTube. Please like and subscribe and comment, and you can find me on Twitter at talk_Brandons. Thank you, Keith McLawhorn, for your interview today.
Appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you for the opportunity, Brandon. Appreciate what you're doing.